Hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source. It's the backup channel backing Celeb up and bringing you all the breaking news. Check this out. Apparently, being found guilty on all 10 counts in his international fraud trial wasn't enough to make Pras step back and reevaluate how he's moving in these streets, because now he's suing 50 Cent, Kyrie Irving, and Rolling Stone for defamation of character after they called him an FBI informant. According to reports, Pras' attorney sent notification letters of the lawsuit to representatives for 50 Kyrie and Rolling Stone on Wednesday, and the defamation lawsuit is based on the Rolling Stone article which first referred to Pras as an FBI informant, and subsequent social media post from 50 Cent and Kyrie Irving which echoed the same allegation. In letters, Pras' representative Jonathan Noah Schwartz claimed that each of their statements led the rapper to lose business deals and they hurt his music revenue. For example, in a letter that Schwartz sent to Rolling Stone, he said, quote, "It is and was absolutely and demonstrably false for you to publish that Michael was a government informant, labeling a hip-hop artist such as Michael, the reputation of whom is dependent upon street credibility and not being a snitch. A government informant most certainly tends to subject said hip-hop artists to hatred, distrust, ridicule, contempt, and/or disgrace, along with injury in their trade or profession." End quote. Listen, as of right now, no representatives for 50 Kyrie or Rolling Stone have responded to Pras' lawsuits. But what I'm gonna say is shouldn't Pras be focused on the fact that he's gonna spend the next bazillion years in jail? And I hate to say this, but I gotta speak my truth. Pras didn't have any street credibility without Lauryn Hill and Wyclef anyway. So what is he talking about? If he continues on with this lawsuit, I fear that both Kyrie Irving and 50 Cent are gonna crush Pras. Look, the man was just convicted on 10 counts of foreign espionage and conspiracy. So how the heck is being called an FBI informant hindering your street credibility? And, as far as losing business deals, what company was we still really wanted to work with Pras even though he's been convicted of 10 counts of fraud, but then 50 Cent says something, so we canceled those contracts. Yeah, okay. To tell you the truth, Pras is suing 50 Cent and Kyrie makes me think that he's an opportunist that's all about the money, and I think that's what got him into all of this trouble in the first place. Listen, let me know what you think about Pras suing 50 Cent, Kyrie Irving, and Rolling Stone because they called him an FBI informant. Let me know what you think in the comments. Now, check it out. The other day, NCAA All-American and former University of Kentucky swimmer Riley Gaines said that prominent female athletes like Venus and Serena Williams need to speak out on the transgender sports debate. She also said that she believes that the reason why female athletes like Venus and Serena aren't speaking up is because they fear cancel culture. Later the same day, Gaines went online and she tweeted, quote, "Women are dependent. Girls are dependent on these women with platforms and with influence to take a stance on this, so changes can ultimately be made." End quote. Now, after making that post, she tagged Venus and Serena and wrote, quote, "Silence is complicity." End quote. Well, as of yet, Serena and Venus have yet to respond to Gaines' post. However, Gaines says that she wants them to feel pressured to take a stand. Listen, I don't understand this new world we live in where everybody thinks that they can force you to do something even if you don't want to do something. If Venus and Serena want to take a stand, they'll take a stand. But if they don't want to take a stand, they don't have to take a stand. Just because an issue is of utmost importance to you doesn't mean that that's at the forefront of their minds right now. And then on top of that, sometimes people have to sit and think about things before they develop their own personal opinion on a subject. The problem now is everybody as soon as you hear something, you got an opinion. You don't got no facts, you don't got no data, you didn't look at no literature, you ain't read no books, you ain't speak to nobody, but yet you have formulated a fervent, authoritative opinion on something you wasn't even thinking about yesterday. For some of y'all, somebody will come up to you and be like, "What do you think about the ducks in Antarctica?" And you'll be like, "Listen, I got a problem with the ducks in Antarctica." You don't know nothing about no ducks in Antarctica. I mean, honestly, we gotta get back to a place where our opinions are based on some reality and fact, and we actually start researching the crap that we're talking about. So with that being said, no, I don't think that Venus and Serena need to say anything that they don't want to say until they are ready to say it, because their silence doesn't necessarily mean that they're being complicit. Perhaps Venus and Serena are just being thoughtful and actually thinking about what they think before they share with the world what they think. And perhaps Serena Williams doesn't want to be dealing with transgender issues while she's carrying her second child after she had mad complications that actually almost killed her when she was giving birth to her first child. I mean, for real, maybe she's trying to relax a little bit. Listen, let me know what you think about this chick trying to pressure Venus and Serena to weigh in on the transgender issue. And while you're down there making a comment, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Now, peep this. Adidas says that they've been trying to figure out what to do with the $1.3 billion of Adidas Yeezy inventory that they have left. And they've decided that the best bet is to sell the kicks and donate the proceeds to some of the organizations that were hurt by Kanye. When discussing their plans, a rep from Adidas said, quote, "For the last 4 months, we have been trying to find solutions on what to do with it. Burning the goods is not the solution. Now, talking to all the NGOs and a lot of the organizations that have been hurt by Kanye West, they all say no, that's not the solution. What we're trying to do now over time is to sell parts of the inventory and donate the money to the organizations that are helping us and that was hurt by Kanye West's statements." End quote. Look, I'm totally confused right now, because what organizations did Kanye West hurt? Yes, Kanye's statements and actions were offensive to Jewish people and also offensive to black people, but what particular organizations did Kanye hurt? See, what this sounds like to me is that Adidas is trying to be slick, and they're trying to give away all the proceeds from these sneakers to all of these quote-unquote organizations so they could get a tax deduction and they could get part of their $1.3 billion back. Because if that wasn't the case, why would you sell the Yeezys just to get the proceeds from the Yeezys to give to an organization when you really could just give all of those Yeezys away for free to underprivileged children who need decent sneakers on their feet? I mean, that is why Adidas is trying to say that Kanye West hurt all of these organizations. Listen, Kanye didn't hurt any organizations, he hurt people. Now, check it out. The other day, Comedy Hype News did a show in which they were discussing a debate which was sparked after Ebony K. Williams said that the only way that she would date a bus driver is if he owned the bus. And during the conversation, one of the panelists, Yamaneika Sanders, said that she blames this whole situation on Iyanla Vanzant. Check out what Yamaneika had to say.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll be turning that shit off right away. I'm not gonna listen to nothing that's spearheaded by Iyanla Vanzant. I don't understand where she came off being the woman that was telling women how to get a man. She don't have no man. And what I find hypocritical is that these people constantly bring up how certain black women don't have men, but the woman that they now are holding up as their leader don't have no man. You know, who I blame is Iyanla Vanzant. I will continuously blame her for the situation because she was the one that posed that question out of nowhere. And I think because she understood where the energy would be, and I'm proud of Ebony K. Williams for responding honestly.
Listen, do you agree with Yamaneika? Do you think that this whole Ebony K. Williams thing was Iyanla Vanzant's fault? Or do you think that Iyanla was genuinely trying to fix Ebony K. Williams' life? And also, do you think that Yamaneika is right when she is insinuating that women who are not in relationships should not be able to give relationship advice? I mean, when you're sitting there and you're talking amongst a whole bunch of people who are in relationships, and then a single person chimes in, should you be able to be like, listen, you're single, shut the hell up? Let me know what you think in the comments. Now check it out. A few months ago, we reported to you that T.I Tiny was suing toy maker MGA after T.I Tiny accused the company of using the likeness of their girl group, the OMG Girls, to create its OMG doll collection. Now, during the initial trial, T.I Tiny's attorneys argued that the line of dolls were an example of both cultural appropriation and outright theft of intellectual property. To support their argument, T.I Tiny's attorney showed the jurors videotaped deposition testimony from a woman named Moniece Campbell, a former MGA customer who reportedly testified that she would no longer purchase the company's products because MGA, quote, steals from African Americans and their ideas and profits off of it, end quote. During the video, Campbell also stated that hundreds of social media users had agreed with her claims and included the fact that, quote, people often steal from the black community and make money off of it, end quote. Now, peep this. After T.I Tiny's attorneys introduced the concept of cultural appropriation, MGA's lawyers immediately demanded a mistrial and argued that the accusations of cultural appropriation ruined the company's opportunity for a fair and impartial trial. In the motion that MGA filed with the court, they said, quote, there's no way to unring the bell to the jury's hearing Ms. Campbell's emotionally charged accusations that MGA has been stealing from the African American community. Her improper testimony cannot be challenged, rebutted, or cured without drawing further attention to it, end quote. Now, after hearing both sides, the judge sided with MGA and declared a mistrial. According to the judge, allegations of cultural appropriation were immaterial and impertinent to the actual legal issues at play in the case, and the judge said none of that should have been heard by the jurors. Well, now, after the first case was declared a mistrial, T.I Tiny are back in court because their second trial against the toy maker started on Wednesday. Listen, let me know what you think about T.I Tiny's trial against MGA toy makers being declared a mistrial because they mentioned cultural appropriation. Let me know what you think in the comments. And hey yo, thanks for tuning in to Celeb Source, your source for celebrity news. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Peace.